suppose I will now take the role of narrator for a Momo. I will be your undisguised convention. Fuck. Am I quoting Williams? Already? And not even Williams, but his goddamn stage directions? We have sunk before we begin. What a beginning. Sorry. This will make everything better. That's good. The play we're about to see tonight, in case you didn't pay attention while you were purchasing tickets, or you were dragged here. It's called The Complete History of Drag in a Few Momo. The title, which kind of sounds like a sophomore queer studies class, makes the play sound stodgy, maybe? We hope not. It's a memory play, that's all. Much like the previously quoted Williams. What was that? Oh, right. In Menagerie, in The Glass Menagerie by Tennessee Williams, for mortals, Tom says something like, magicians give you illusion in the appearance of truth. I will give you truth in that oh so pleasant guise of illusion. And here and now I give you the illusionist herself, all bound and definitely not gagged by truth. Right? Memories should attempt to be honest. Or honest adjacent. And even the sad ones, fondly held like, you know, I've already been reduced to quoting stage directions. I am not going to tell dick jokes. I will leave that to the professionals. For ladies and gentlemen, you are backstage at a drag club. That is so much less glamorous than it sounds. It's this tiny little room in the back of a bar that on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and sometimes Sundays has drag shows. The queens come in with suitcases filled with crap and shove themselves over the dirty, broken mirrors and prepare. Think less Stanislavski, more Bukowski. Fabulosity overflows filthy vessels. Sequins sparkle in dirty backpacks. Wigs wink on painted and taped styrofoam heads. Turkey feather boas, no longer constricted, slither over surfaces. Fun frocks fall off this costume rack that's held together with duct tape and hung by hangers. Brow pencils, creams, brushes, lashes, and things you are better off staying clueless about cover everything. There's always room for glitter. Center stage, conveniently located by her chair, is Auntie's mirror. It's always hers. Actually, once this queen sat there and refused to move, and that might be a story for another day. Suffice to say, she never did it. On Auntie's mirror are a few photographs. Barbara Stanwyck glares. Rosa Russell, her spirit animal, connives. A drawing of Martini promises hope. A poem not for your ears sighs. And a photo of a very pretty Latina drag queen, and pumped up, begs to be remembered. There's a large full-length mirror on which is unceremoniously taped the show order. That just lists the order which the queens are performing. Auntie's going last. She likes going last. There are 1, 2, 3, 6 other performers tonight. Stage left, we have Empress. She's a best friend and sometimes nemesis of Auntie. Empress and Auntie have been through thick and thin. And I don't just mean diving. Down left, we have Diva McQueen. She does gender spoof. She's really funny. Auntie adores her and her bestie who sits next, Nena Bonita. And they're not real. Stage right, we have Jazz. Oh, Jazz is a consummate diva who really dislikes Auntie's non-stop talking and joking around. Auntie tolerates jazz because, well, jazz is quite good, and Auntie's old enough to no longer be threatened by talent. Downright right, very right, I don't know here, is Miss Carey. Auntie doesn't know her very well, but she does not approve of stage pop queens. And stage right, we have Dolores Doggy Style. She's the funny one, or so she says. Auntie, okay, Auntie hates her fucking guts. Sorry. Now I know what you're thinking. Why is no one down center? You are such a clever audience. Well, there is. There's a seventh queen, a youngster, a friend of someone who's been told to come and see the show first before she gets asked to get booked. Here she sits, trying to not act overwhelmed in front of all the professional queens she aspires to one day be. She's pretty. For a beginner. Younger than any of us have ever been. We don't know her name. How symbolic. No, not really. Auntie never learns anyone's name. She doesn't know your name unless you're billed above or sucking your cock below. At least that's my memory of it. This memory play takes place in the future. That is to say, a future memory, in which I foreshadow. Oh God, I'm making it sound deep. It's not deep. Don't get deep. Woo, no. Let's just say, light and full of fun and smile. Thank you. In the future of this memory, some of us won't be here anymore. Certainly not its protagonist. She was just in the alley, out the backstage door by the dumpster, which she finds fitting, on the phone call. You learn to call her Auntie or Auntie Luscious. Everyone does. Learn, that is. She would add, except for some. There she stands in sneakers and cutoffs and a bustier with her face half made up like some Picasso Dali mess. She turns off her phone and silences it like all good thespians. Because it's almost curtain time and the show must go on. That's what she muttered to herself a few moments ago. The show must go on. She leaves the alley to other concerns and goes flying to the back of the bar where she is accosted by the promoter slash manager slash asshole, her words, about starting the show on time. She says they're professionals despite being in this town. He says, I'm not holding a curtain for no one. She reminds him that there are no curtains. He huffs and hounds and follows. She says, darling, we'll be ready. Just a few momo. Just a few momo. Darling, we'll be ready. Just a few momo. Just a few momo, darling. No problem, love you. Who the fuck starts a drag show on time? I mean, back in my day, we never started a show on time. You said show at 10. Queens arrive at 10:30. You start donning the gay apparel and decking the balls. Coke dealer arrived promptly at midnight. You went around one and slammed out your digit numbers to ovations and dollar bills. And everything was done in time for your fans to buy the last call. Now this motherfucker buys a fifth scoop light and thinks he's a Nederlander. I remember once back in the day, there I was minding my own goddamn business when in walks the promoter. Now ladies, promoters are producers who get better cook. God, I wish I still did coke. 22 years, 8 months, and 4 days down the drain. So like I said, I was there vodka cranberry with my friend James, eyeing a piece of fabric I had to well, pretty happy hour. And in walks the promoter. And she comes up and she stares at me and she says, Auntie, aren't you performing tonight? And I said, mais oui, darling, mais oui. And she said, like that, as a boy? And I said, no, darling. rolled her eyes and mumbled something about professionalism. Well, I gave her my most famous line. When talent arrives 2 hours late and speaking of gin, you know you've hired a professional. More eye rolling, so I shrugged and scooted and rushed to prove my point. And ladies, it bit me in the ass. Because you know, I didn't actually have time to sew a dress, so I used stitch rich. Do you guys know what stitch rich is? Yes, it's tape. Yes, saves your life. It's just tape, you iron it on, it gets hot, it dries, and cool, it gets adhesive, it's fabulous. So I did one seam because I am queen of the one seam wonder. Tie it right on top. Oh, it was this lovely peach silk with like this golden Asianish print, so of course. I put on a wig, rare for me, pulled 2 chopsticks out of the trash, and was da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, geisha lashes. Now today, this would be considered racist or cultural appropriation. But back in law day, we had 2 words for it, beer, rice. I arrive at the club and smugly nod to the promoter. But like I said, ladies, it bit me in the ass, and not in a good way. It was August in New York. And the club got hotter and hotter and boiling, and what happened? Yes, my stitch witch came undone. So I hope you tightened your hem, ladies. Get it together, bros. We're going to be out there with one tit and an untucked testy. Drag has certainly sold out. I blame RuPaul. Tucker, that terrible show. We used to be shamans of the tribe, and now we bitch and backbite for ratings. It's disgusting. And who do you have to fuck to get on that show anyway? I have auditioned like 9.5 times. Seriously. It's show business. It's show business, isn't it? No business is so cruel, so fabulous, but so cruel. I mean, no one intentionally goes into show business, do they? No, they don't. You do some little play or whatnot, and next thing you know, you have a student loan and a worthless degree. Now, CPA. Oh, a CPA goes to school. They take examinations. They go on job interviews, and then someone says, "Welcome to the firm, son." No one says welcome to show business. If we had such a clear distinction, no one would do it. At least we know, right? Welcome to show business. That's all I would have wanted. Welcome to show business. Actually, the first play I remember doing post-womb was a little one-act of no small distinction. At Rise, my sisters and I woke up, pretended to get ready for work, and left the audience staring at an empty space. Powerful. Finally, my mother yells, "Are you kids coming back?" And I was like, maybe. I was far too young to know what existentialism was, but I knew it had to be boring. Here I am, decades later, with some authority figure yelling, "Are you coming back on stage? Oh, God!" The theater of it all. Someone, ancient gods of yore, hear me, invent a time machine. Someone go back to ancient Greece and go, "Thespis, don't do it. Stay in the chorus, let's nip this thing in the bud, honey. The SS Theatricum Titanicum. Except the iceberg is a cube in your drink, if you're lucky. Bam! Well, ladies, apparently, Thespis didn't listen to future me who went back in time to hold him to hush. Because the answer to who the fuck starts a drag show on time is us. Excuse me? Oh, yes. Yes, I am in a mood, thank you very much. That would be that mood, yes. Don't worry, nothing. Bad news, okay? It turns out I can leave you shit messages on voicemail. Don't you dare. Don't you dare show concern or kindness. My entire life and mortality is crumbling to shreds. And one of the few facts I have to hold on to in the quagmire that was me is the fact that you are pretty much a terrible person, and I need that right now. I hope you're listening, queens. Hey, fourth wall. Hey, fourth wall. you have the luxury of paranoia. I wasn't gonna jump in again so soon, but Auntie didn't explain the phone call very well, and it's important that you understand. In the theater, we call this exposition, yes. Betty Boren tells us, oh, you'll meet Betty in a few moments. Betty tells us exposition is the death rattle of drama. So I'll be brief. Actually, come to think of it, most of this play is a bit of a death rattle, isn't it? Oh, no, that sounds morose. Remember, we decided to be light and full of fun. I mean, what's the rule? You don't remember someone funny by crying, right? Well, like I said, she was out in the alley on that phone call. She was talking to her doctor. I know, I know it's really late, but theater people are, well, theater people. And waking before noon confuses them. Those who love and treat them learn to adapt. Ooh, did you feel that? I just cited bad behavior being justified by unreasonable actresses. The entire crew of the Hollywood Fringe Festival rolled their eyes. Sorry. See, she had left this message, veiled but important. And like most of us terribly frightened children in adults' clothing, she ignored it for far too long. Finally, she knew she had to call in. I mean, places hadn't been called yet, so she knew she'd have time. Actors get bored waiting for places. Places is when actors leave their very comfortable dressing rooms and stand on the wings and wait for all of you to sit down, silent phones, and apparently open candy is now a thing. The phone call's unpleasant. Hope and good wishes have done much to help, but unfortunately, the tumor chose to not listen. Auntie refuses to say cancer. It's an astrology symbol she likes. So instead, she calls it Pisces. I'd like to say she's not behaving like herself, but she's probably more herself than usual, you know? The mask is firm tonight. I think she's handling it pretty well, you know? Like I said, the mask is on. I'll see you in a minute for a call. Well, Nana, you finally decided to arrive. Bitch, did you forget your titties again? Honey, you forget your pussy wasn't attached. Jazz, did you understand? Okay, bitch, you don't have to roll your eyes. You can just say, yes, I heard you. Miss Carey, oh my God, are your props alive? Mice, yay, how creative. Dolores, I'm not even talking to you tonight because I just simply, who the fuck are you? I'm sorry, that was so rude to moi. Who the fuck are you? Oh, God, you're a newbie, aren't you? A newbie. New blood, he screams, this show needs new blood. Not actual lighting or a dressing room or drink specials or social media of any kind. New blood. And there you are. Good God, are they getting younger? I swear to God, one of these days I'm just going to go to the abortion clinic, hot glue false eyelashes on a fetus, and throw that at the audience. Put it on her neck! I may have crossed the line even for me. You're not so bad, are you? Shut up. You're a pretty thing. Blending is a skill set you'll learn. And if you don't mind me saying so, that lip color is all wrong for you. We already have an ugly one. Oh my God, I'm fucking gorgeous! Always say that you see yourself, newbie. If you don't, do well. I am Auntie, or Auntie Lashes, or a vodka tonic with a lime. My full name, which never used, is Her Imperial Fierceness, the Grand Diva, Auntie Lashes. Charmed, you're sure. Not affiliated with the actual imperial court system, by the way. Those bitches take shit far too seriously for me. Oh, I was always too punk rock for them. Here, I like this color for you. Back in my day, I just throw a merkin on my head, smear an eyeliner, and make shit happen. Yes. Come to me, come to me. The imperial court? You've never heard of the imperial court, darling. You're a whatever. Go like this. No, relax, right there. Darling, delicious, gorgeous cock right in front of your face, and you are considering. There you go! You've done that before. Now, the imperial court. Should I tell her the truth or reality? Okay. The imperial court started back before my day. Back in her day when the Dead Sea cereal reverted. They're drag queens who held balls, not the testicle kind, to raise money for the gays. The gays who went to jail. For being gay! Good Lord, get sharper! Anyway, the calls we made to raise a lot of money for charities. Like the much-loved Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. No? Oh, you must have seen them. They're hard to miss, darling. Or in a giant, like nuns' clothes habits with clown faces. Oh, darling. The court is like them, but without any of the fun. Kidding, I'm kidding. They're a lovely bunch of chaps. I love chaps. Oh, I shouldn't tease. Stay still. Yes, I should. Never underestimate, undermine, or underwear the power of weave. Right along. We learned that at Stonewall, didn't we? I mean, everyone's all so confused and crazy that drag queens can start the Stonewall ride. Like it doesn't take us to walk around and dress in heels. Bitch, do you remember that 90s in New York when Heritage Pride Parade, what the fuck her name is, tried to stop drag queens from marching in the gay pride parade? I thought there'd be riots again. Betrayed. We got your pride by shoving your faces in rocks and places, and then politics turn. You want to be a good little gay. I'm sorry. Let me not preach the politics of drag here and now to the choir. But you know, it's just all those ye gods and little fishes. She's starting the show. She is actually starting the show on time. Hey girls, hey! Back in my day, we had her right. So, newbie, are you performing ce soir? Tonight. Oh, that's good. See, it's your first time, I always say. Is this your first time on mask? Oh, good. Well, then I'm a complete newbie. My first time in drag was, I believe, 3rd grade. I went as a shrewish housewife. It ended poorly. And then there was my constant Wonder Woman wannabe. Oh, bitch, I can stand. I suppose my first real drag was Halloween. I went as Boy George. Maybe he was my gateway drag. Not that year, George has a lot in common, but you know, we both sing. Oh yes, bitch, I sing. I'm a triple threat. I sing, dance, and suck cock. Sometimes all at the same time. It looks like this. Pagliaccio el tu amore in Don't hate the chanteuse. Everybody has talent except for some. And yet too many lip-sync shifts. But yet, have you beheld the genius that is lip synca? I know some of us are freaked out that some of us sing. I love to sing. I mean, I love to lip sync too, but I can only do one song. Cher, Dark Lady. Cher is also my only celebrity impersonation. Oh, I love celebrity impersonators. Charles Pierce was transformative. I always thought maybe I could pull off Mae West. Oh, my right leg is Christmas, and my left leg is New Year's. Why don't you come up and bring me a solstice present, and don't be chintzy with that tinsel. if you must drag it out of me, once I did do Ethel Merman. As a joke. We sang, "You don't bring me flowers!" The other Queen Shad said, "And summer from the Simpsons." It was deliciously terrible. No, I couldn't. Okay, my celebrity impersonation? Oh, shit, Judy. Mama's drinking again. That's it. That sounded like me, I'm stuck with it. Trust me, I know. Don't worry, ladies, I will not be doing Cher this evening. I'll be doing an old static. Newbie, that's drag queen speak for a tired old number I don't have to rehearse. Bitch, I have sung this song more times than Kate Smith blessed America. Kate Smith? No, Kate Smith? That's Bessie Smith. That's Patty Smith. That is Jacqueline Smith. That is the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Very funny. It's me. I'm not hurt. Fine. Newbie, I have sung the song a lot. Frequently. With a band. It's a lovely number which everyone loves because it's sweet and dirty and campy, and I pull it off with star quality. Oh, star quality. True story. Aren't they all? No. Anyway, there I was, back in Laude, in the village of East, and across from me was Betty Bourne of Blue Lips fame. Blue Lips were sort of this drag clown comedy troupe from London, fully informed with my understanding of drag. Betty said, just by being a man in a frock was political, and boy, were they. Sometimes they wore housecoats and top shoes, and other times a dress would be the entire set. Anyway, back to moi, much more interesting. So there I am, across from Betty. She's surrounded by sycophants going, how are you so fabulous? How are you so amazing? And Betty said, star quality. And then she added, I don't exactly know what star quality is. And she pointed a polished, crooked little nail at me and said, but he's got it. Wow. Now, I knew she was just paraphrasing Kate Hepburn, but I just wanted to run around the bar screaming, anyone say star quality! Anyone say star quality! Anyone say star quality! But I was so cool. I just lifted my vodka tonic and passed the diva a wink. I know. Why can I still be that fucking cool, right? Miss Carrie, darling, are you on? Sweetheart, would you me a favor? If you're gonna make a mess again with all your props, could you please tell the stage manager, last week you spilled something and I tripped and people thought I was drunk. Get him hell, bitch, you are a diva! She's never gonna make it. One shtick wonders I've seen all the time. And what is with the mice? You're an animal acts now? I'm pleased, you know, I'm a French poodle. See, that's the thing, you can be anything. Maybe you're the next Misty, Sabra, Killer, Coco, Crystal, Honey. All you need is guts of steel to believe in yourself and stage time. Oh, honey, get that stage time. We made stages where we could, on the pool table at Dick's Bar, and lofts in apartments, while once we sang Christmas carols with the only words being Camelite cigarettes as we walked up 2nd Avenue. Camelite, Camelite, Camelite cigarettes. Now that's performance art. Look at me, waxing poetic talk about the village of East. Well, darling, you know. It was my stomping ground, as this will be yours. You'll be my age. And you'll talk about how you once met this old bitch in this shitty little dressing room in North Hollywood. Be kind if you do, dear. The best way to tell stories is to listen. The village of East is also where that legend Quentin Crisp. Speaking of stories. Oh, that motherfucker can tell a story like no one. No Quentin Crisp? Nothing? Never wrote a number? We're working on this. The naked civil servant. Get it, watch it or read it, but learn it. Quentin was fabulous. He would wear his purple hair piled high with large hats and swishy suits and makeup and nail polish. Quentin had a way of saying the most simple things with such camp, like, Alcoholics Anonymous. Well, I think it's much worse to be anonymous than it is to be an alcoholic. Branson told me that the word drag itself came from the drag of fabric on glorious costumes of yore. I have no idea if this is true, but it sounds fabulous. I wonder about them, you know? Betty back in the 70s when gay liberation started. I walk in her pumps. But to do what she did when she did it, unimaginable. I wonder, am I that brave? I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, even Lottie, I have no trouble saying anything to anyone. I would stop the fag bashing at 5 a.m. on 14th Street in full drag. Another time, right around Gay Pride, my bestie Bo and I were walking up 6th Avenue. Okay, Francie. And someone called us faggots. Now, we called each other faggot all the time. When we said it meant awesome creature of whom I'm fond. This man failed to understand the proper connotation. So I turned and I screamed, "What did you call me?" Silence rang on 6th Avenue. The crowd hushed. The basher froze, unknowing with what force of nature he had dared to leave. I had nothing left to say, so I grabbed Bo by the face and kissed her right down in front of everyone. The crowd erupted in cheers, the basher ran, and we laughed. If you laugh at me, you'll win. I laughed a lot. All those shoes, huh? Does each step take more courage or less? Whose shoes did Divine walk in? Crazy creature. I went to her grave as the vie de joie necessitates. Did you know that her headstone is covered in lipstick kisses? Yes. Oh, if I don't know. Well, next time. Who walks in her shoes? Oh, shade of rouge, right? Marsha P. Johnson, trans legend. Who were her predecessors? Or did we cut her off from them? Force her to cobble her own? Does Betty walk in Quentin's shoes? I mean, I imagine, so to speak. And what of Quentin? To be him in the 30s and 40s in England? Not for all the glitter and all the cosmos. Beaten repeatedly on the streets just for being him. And it was illegal. Legal schmeal. Look at Berlin between the wars. Did you know that between World War I and World War II, Berlin was a gay paradise? Oh, gay bars, drag clubs, fabulousness, queer political clout. I had this friend in Boston once, James, and he told me never subscribe to The Advocate or similar such gay publications because it'll put your name on a list. And lists were used to exterminate the gays in Nazi Germany, which had previously been a gay paradise. Can you imagine that? There you are, finally free. Gay, 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 gay. Paradise down and bam! Your own people turn on you. Take those little lists and turn empowerment into a sentence. Can you imagine that betrayal? Gay marriage, civil rights. You think this is permanent? You think we can ever stop fighting or that we ever win? Honey, if we're not careful, I mean real careful, all of this could turn on a dime. And you know what a dime's worth, don't you? Barely 9 pennies. Oh my God. I just channeled Warren Bacall. Way too much, way too much. Emergency glitter, emergency glitter. Little side note, maybe. When the Allies freed the concentration camps, when they found out what those little pink triangles meant, they put us back. Yeah, I know in that history class, did you? Never forget, newbie, no matter what your ethnicity or what creed you dabble in, you too lost people in Dachau. Yes, darling, a people, A lineage, you come from a people, newbie. I know, you're young, I'm old. I could never understand you. He's them, she's there. Kids and fucking kids and your words. You separate us with all these words. Drag versus stealth, trans versus cis, binomial versus poly everything. I mean, good Lord, you let them divide and conquer us with these vicissitudes. Bitch, I said vicissitudes. Vicissitudes. Nay, honey, nay. What if we took that away from them? What if we were all just sisters? We would be an army. Speaking of my little soldier, Nana, are you on, darling? Oh, stay still, I'll get it. There you go, perfect. Come on. Boca de Loba. Get him how, bitch, get him how. See, newbie, what I tell you about Miss Carey. I mean, gimmicks are good and you gotta get one. At least, bitch, have the good sense to hurry. Ah, Miss Carey, darling, how did the number go? Really? Excellent. And did the mice survive? Well, snakes must eat too. Let's just find a positive spin on everything tonight, shall we? So many words and not quite enough living. You know, yes, and by our definitions, I am cis, correct? I was born a boy, loved being a boy. Okay, a man, but mostly a boy. But am I? I mean, I certainly don't conform to common culture gender norms. Yes, bitch, because I'm not boring. But even a less constricted Dan Savage way I cross boundaries, and do so intentionally. I mean, I wouldn't call myself trans out of respect, because that too, again, is not exactly true. So where am I? Where do I get left? Being a weirdo again, somewhere in between the lines. Performatively powerful, but outside your little goddamn box. Not you, I'm on a roller route. And I have nothing to define myself. I mean, there lie dragons. And is drag even performative in nature? Well, who's not performing all the time? Not I, said the spotlight. And the second you create a definition, some fucking queen is gonna break the rule because she can. Perhaps to defy is to drag. And yet we seem to beg, crave, need these definitions, which in the act of doing so create shores for us to crash upon. I'm being poetic tonight. And then again, some fucking queen is gonna break the mold before the jello sets. That was a lot less poetic. So, darling, perhaps to confuse is to drag. The confusion of illusion is so goddamn amusing. So where do we left off? Abandoned. Abandoned with words like girdles. I know what I am. I'm a sissy. Sissy with a C. Sissy gender. That'll work. Now, I don't want to bring it up, because two people in this room cannot let it go. But I get so confused with this tranny as a bad word thing. I mean, please, bitch, we made up the word. It used to be a compliment. Tranny meant fierce bitch. Now you can't even say fierce bitch. Fierce is used for breakfast cereals. Seriously fortified with vitamin A, B, C, and And bitch, I was actually told that by saying bitch, I was being a speciesist. What the fuck am I supposed to call someone? Fortified lactating canine? That's pretty good actually, fortified lactating canine. I mean, John. The thing with drag, at least for me, is being able to say whatever the fuck I want to say. Push envelopes and not fear them. Case in point. Once I was at this club in New York, Jackie 6-0, wasted. I had taken so much LSD, I couldn't move. I held a half-drunk martini glass, which I could not possibly finish because the olive winked at me. I was reduced to one single word. Darling, plug your ears. Plug your ears for a moment, darling. Well, I'm going to say the C word. I know how it offends you, so just plug your ears for one moment. And anyone else in the room who is offended by the C word, plug your ears for one more moment. So, newbie, there I was, leaning against the wall, holding that martini glass, and reduced to one image and one word. It looked like this. Cunt. Cunt. hours. And then the walls melted and became oddly Volvic. And I thought, oh my gods, I have manifested reality again. Flashbacks. You can unplug your ears now, darling. Unplug your ears. Oh, God. So much fuss over a little word. Seriously, darling, seriously. Shouldn't the C word mean fabulous? Yeah. Shouldn't the C word mean tasty? Shouldn't the C word mean amazing orifice from whence we came? I mean, seriously, shouldn't cunt mean, oh my God, you're not going to wear those shoes with that dress? No, you do you. You're your own person and making your own choices. I am not here to mother you. But seriously, good Lord, have some self-respect. I mean, a chain is only as glamorous as its ugliest link. And if this is going to be my last goddamn show, at least you could... What? Yes, the go-go boots work better. Thank you. Fourth wall, don't tell anyone about the vodka. Auntie's allowed to bring her own hooch. She used to get drink tickets, but this way saves trees. It's weird, isn't it? Memory? It's like assholes become saints when they crossed over. Right? Saints judge. And we remember things with some, well, not maliciously or intentionally, but with some order with which we do not live our lives. And history, written down by people who didn't live it, or those who profit or won, right? I mean, you ask me, is the history of drag important? Is the history of Western civilization important? I mean, don't we find comfort in knowing how we came to be as a nation? How democracy became so important to us? How kings gave way to that republic? How those kings came to be? We don't question our need to understand our history as a nation, but as a people, a culture, gay, drag, trans, et al. Our history is unavailing. It is all this history of kings and none of queens. And what is left is marred, blurred, cut short, given a bad press spin. And it's so much more than this little tiny play can hold. We are so much more. Even you, my non-dragster, cis-het siblings. Hey, if we're in this together, we need to know each other, understand each other, and start by understanding that we are not flukes, or mistakes, or happenstance. To be made ignorant is to be injured, and we are left broken, like a one-winged bird that's spinning instead of soaring. I'm doing it again, aren't I? Sorry. Auntie needs a drink, and so do I. God, that's good. You know, ladies, I always say clothes might not make the man, but they sure as hell help the queen. Time's an enemy, gravity's a bitch, and purity puts everything where dressmakers think it should be not. No matter pushing, hiding, taking, talking, newbie, we always say, if you're not in pain, you're not in drag. They used to call us illusionists. No illusion here, honey, just really tight panties. When I was your age, I didn't do tits. No tits and no tuck. I was so political. But then, you know, time happened and masculinity took over and basically it's however she can get it, you know? Slimming the neck, fitting the waist, lengthening the line, tightening the calf. Okay, slimming is tightening everything. When I was your age, I used to wear the tallest shoes. Oh, they were beautiful. Literally, they're so tall, people would walk up to me and say, honey, how tall do you need to be? And I would say, honey, I need to touch heaven. What do you want, Dolores? Yes, I've already told you the go-go boots work better. Run along. Give them liberty if you can't give them death. Painting is an art form. There's not a single brush on that table. It's like watching a toddler finger paint with napalm. Nana, darling, welcome back, sweetheart. How did it go? Amazing. Are they tipping? Of course not. Are they drinking? Good. By the time I get out there, they'll be plastered. I look gorgeous when I'm plastered. Don't ask you to comment on anything. Actually, speaking of shoes, back in La Day, I had this drag friend back in New York in the day, Scotty, world's most annoying drag queen. He had like 7 personalities. It was like working with Sybil. We decided we need a good pair of black pumps, really, strong, hold a fella up. So all 3 sojourned to the West Village, to the drag boutique on 14th Street. Now this is before the internet, so you actually had to go somewhere to buy something. Oh, they were such lovely shoes. Well, we were so proud of them. We came back to our local trough and we modeled them forever. Look at our new shoes, look at our new shoes. And this old queen in the corner is drunk and goes, well, it's not shoes. You don't want to be on stage when ballistas happen. You know the best way to break a new pair of pumps is to run around the block. Well, that sounded sage. So Scott and I rolled up our jeans, put on our new shoes, and ran around the block. We ran down 4th Street, we ran down 1st Avenue, over 3rd, saying hello to the confused but terribly used Hells Angels. Back up 2nd Avenue, exhausted, relieved we had our shoes. Now, newbie, as I have unfortunately gotten older, I can't tell you exactly if that old queen meant it or was just having a laugh watching 2 twinks and pumps run around the East Village. But never a blister did I yet. Oh, shit reason for drag. For what? Bus fare and a drink ticket? I mean, seriously, darling, we painted canvases and faces being a fucking Louvre. If a boring person worked as hard as we do, they'd be CEO of the multiverse. But no, here we are, slaving away in a shitty little dressing room in North Hollywood, and grateful for it. Couldn't have it any other way. No, not quit. I've had very many jobs, some of which I've been terribly, terribly good at. But in the end, darling, you come back to what makes you happy. And for all my ennui and whining, this is the shit and we love it. I mean, why else would we suffer so? Darling, you have to tighten your steering. Ow! No, ow means good. Speaking of suffering, did you know that Julian Elton used to shave his fingers? Can you imagine that, Chris? I mean, sure, surgery, implants, Botox, frozen faces, bleached assholes, fine, but shaving your fingers? I can't imagine it. Julian Elton, star of early cinema and vaudeville, drag queen. He shaved his fingers so they look more feminine. Thanks, bitch. This was, last century. Well, no, last century. He came from the Belle Pop tradition, or perhaps, Oscar Wilde, donning the garb of Salome. Oscar Wilde. We owe him more than we know. At least bitch got a statue. I love thinking of those parties at the Belle Epoque. So fabulous. Well, now newbie though. To understand history, you have to understand how it repeats, because we're assholes and can't learn nothing. The Belle Epoque was once again between the wars, but this time the Franco-Prussian or World War I. Oh, the Belle Epoque was a time of extreme plush lovelisms, drag-ruled soirees, chit-chat, dominated Paris. I always wondered if those parties were bitchy, like, ooh la la, look what she's wearing. So 1834. Doesn't she know Charles Dawn and love Patagonia? Oddly, it was the ladies who ruled the Belle Epoque. Well, maybe not oddly. No, drag kings, women who dress as boys. Yes, bitch, yes. Drag queens who work the Salvaron and own the Champs-Élysées. I adore drag kings. You will not see Yentl in the dressing room. where the drag king re-emerges in the 90s. I, along with two lovely ladies, Christy and Caroline, created No Man's Land, a lesbianic club. Yes, bitch. It was a regular event at which young dykelings could come and manifest themselves. You know, put on a moustache and see what happened. Oh, I love that club. I'm so proud of those days. It's so important to have a place, maybe. That's why I get so sad when I see the internet taking over and all the bars and clubs closing. I mean, sure, it makes it a hell of a lot easier to have a quickie. It doesn't get you a place, you know? A Molly House. There's a place for you. England, yes, 18th and 17th century. Homes where scandalous men came to do drag with other scandalous men. Weird thing, they were in courthouses. Okay, they were. But mostly they just came to act like ladies. Oh, ducky, pull up a frock and let's have some tea. Do you like my hoop skirt? Ladies will pretend later to give birth. Yes, I did. Oh, I know. And the drag balls of New York knew those lessons well. Not the Imperial Court, the other sort of drag balls. As my friend Miss Glass used to say, Latinas who own the runway, the legends. Yes. Of course, you saw Paris' Burning. Darling, we were raised in a cave by wolves with fluorescent lighting. No, you know what? I'm not going to be that queen. I am not going to be that queen. You are not expected as a younger person to magically know shit that happened before you were born. The onus of history is upon moi. So, Paris' Burning was a lovely documentary film which was fabulous. If you watch, if you too can learn to say such fabulous phrases as Butch Queen first time in drag, and not with that voice. Oh, so lovely. I mean, it was these lovely bunch of people who needed a place to be them, and they had so much more. They had a family. I mean, they used the word house, but is a house not a home? I mean, everybody is a family. I mean, a chosen family that really gets you. I mean, I love my biological family, but girl, wait, sisters, look out for sisters. My uncle was once mocking, like to my face mocking me. I can't believe you do that for me. How do you even do that? I looked him right in the eye and said, I have made hundreds, no, thousands of people smile. What have you ever done? Family, you do what you can, you do what you will. Ugh. Now, honey, just so we're clear, because I don't want there to be false information here, drag balls did not start in the 80s. I mean, some say the 30s with the Harlem Renaissance, albeit very exclusionary to the Black Queens despite its name. But I think drag balls came from somewhere far different than that. I think they came from little boys wearing fabric on their head. You know, dad's shirt or scarf, or in my case, just a towel. Nothing but a towel, I became this fabulous performer. Or maybe just pretty. Pretty powerful, powerful, pretty. There you are with so little and so less because you're different. And with nothing but that towel, you transform. Yes, bitch, yes, nothing but a towel. And then you walk and you dish and you love. And then you meet other little boys who walk around with towels on their heads. And then they become wigs, which you stole because you never knew that you were walking with a fucking towel on your head. And then you walk. And then you turn. And you dish and you love and you cheer and you love to love each other, baby. Everything happens somewhere for a reason, baby. Except the chin. We don't know why we have a chin. But we do know why we have drag balls, honey, because we needed that. Yes. I had this black Southern queen tell me once, you Yankees do drag for fun. In the South, it's a necessity. Jazz, do you think that's true? Oh, let me help you. This class throwing, bitch. This door. Perfect. Are you doing the medley? Excellent, excellent. Give him hell, bitch. Give him hell, honey. You. I'll watch your things while you're turning tricks in the bathroom. Was it harder to be Southern Black Queen? I mean, Bible belts and banjos notwithstanding. Well, it's not like upstate New York is filled with hippies. Well, except for the part that are filled with hippies, of course. But then I suppose it's harder to be a queer queen in Iran, you know? Or so I've read. I mean, who wants to compete in oppression? Who wants to win that fucking race? Not I, said LeBarron. Perhaps again we can unite instead of fight. I know, I'm ridiculously naive. I was hanging with this other southern queen, white girl, Marilyn. That bitch did drag every day ending in Y and Jewish holidays in autumn. Is that anti-Semitic now? Sorry, can't keep track. She, Dana Ross, and I ran this club called Jasmine Tea. It was very meta. We sang to a live jazz band at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you know, high tea. It's very meta, very meta. Imagine getting ready for drag at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Bitch. At some point, Marilyn would bring out the cocaine and say, ladies, we've powdered the outside. Powder the inside! Oh, yes, honey. We had nails, long press-on nails. We were dead without them. We'd get to the club, we'd say, no manicures in the first 3 rows, please. No manicures in the first 3 rows. Which was funny but problematic because the bar only had 3 rows. Yes. Welcome back, Dolores. Hurrah! Forgive me for not jumping up and down. Go away. Do I have the best nail story for you? There I was in the village of East back in the law day. And I was doing my first solo drag queen play. Search me. I had sold out CBGB's gallery, darling. I got in my little head that press-ons would not do for a sold out show. I had to get filled. You see, before Jasmine Tea, every Sunday morning, not the drag queen, the actual day of the week, 6 or sometimes 7 of us twin queens would arrive at this nail salon on First Avenue. Those ladies loved us. I mean, years later, I find out that in Thai culture, drag is common, or more common, or at least heard of. In fact, and Conte and I used to tell people, we weren't drag queens, we're couture. Stupid. Anyway, so there I was at the salon, and I get my fills of the lovely 90s medley of aubergine and toast. But those ladies did not tell me it took 17,000 hours for fills to dry. I had to go home and get ready for my sold out show. Did I mention it was sold out, guys? So there I went, running up, First Avenue, all in a tither. Look at my nails, look at my nails, look at my nails. When crisis struck. Now, darling, as you must know, in New York City, most apartment buildings have an outside door and an inside door. I blithely went through the outside door and, I had forgotten to take the keys out of my pocket. They were there. I couldn't work them out to get into my apartment, and I was running late. I worked and I couldn't. I mean, what, the fucking elbow in there? What the fuck? Come on! Finally, I realized just sacrifice one nail. It's been 20 fucking minutes. Just sacrifice a nail. No, I'm not sacrificing a single nail. Fascist, locked door fascist. Why can't we live in a utopia where doors are never barred? In a moment of inspiration, I lay down on the ground trying to shake the criminals. I climbed the vestibule, shaking. Mother Earth, please, I ground me where justice was. There I was, inverted and gyrating. In walked Michelle. Michelle took one look at me and said, did you forget to take out your keys? Yes, Michelle, yes. Michelle helped me. Got me into my apartment, darling. Just so you know, it all worked out. When I left New York and came to California like a prospector seeking serenity, I threw away 300 or 400 bags of drag. Tulle, chiffon, sequins, costumes. Michelle confiscated each and every bag and was voted best dressed straight girl in Manhattan 3 years ago. Straight people can be so cute. Was that a little patronizing? Sorry. Oh, don't hate the straight movie. Oh, it's hard to read it over for this. I mean, even in drag, we have straight brothers. I mean, we tend tend to say that drag is a gay thing and transvestitism is a straight thing, but is that even true? I mean, I say my immediate drag ancestors are the older queens I grew up with, but I'm an American, so does that not also make Big Dick Milton Berle my ancestor? And why not? He was fucking funny. Dame Edna, Australian and angry, same thing. Informing the consciousness of a globe. Give credit, bitch. Oh yeah, all those 1950s and 60s straight men who cross-dressed to embrace the girl within. Now I know. They hated queers because, thank you, McCarthy, anything queer was horrible. Speaking of luck of the tuck, Empress darling, are you on? Honey, could you do me a huge favor? Could you try to not be so fucking terrible the audience leaves the theater in droves? Thanks, honey. Well, newbie, now might be a place to pause a little histoire de drag and wonder, is drag have anything to do with being gay? And of course, historically speaking, were there gays? Which might be the stupidest thing I've ever said. And I'm not just saying the act of having sex with a man is an act of homosexuality, because, honey, I have tasted the tang, and I'm as gay as Liberace's goose. I mean, what an experimentation, what a bro jobs, what an asexual gays, what a bi pride. I mean, too many definitions and not enough living. Perhaps we're all just a bunch of fucking weirdos. To weirdos. Where's that fucking pride parade? And even if we weren't or aren't a new idea, aren't weird, we're definitely not a new idea. Honey, trust this bitch. Homos have existed well before we had the word homo. Who was the first drag queen? Who were the first homos? Who knows? Actually, fourth wall, I do. And as your narrator, I get a groovy sound cue. Once upon a time, before there was fierce, when the world had just begun, maybe not that young, Mama Earth was some 4 billion years old. Bitch that would tell 3. There was this cat. Well, no, not that. He was more an ape with a humanist shape. With gorillas and chimps, he shared some genes, but now he was on his evolutionary own, or so it seems. His name was Ardipithecus. And Artie liked to party. Yeah. Artie was grooving in a mangrove swamp, wondering if being bipedal was really such a romp. When he gazed, he humped, he happened to come upon Brad. Brad was a hot and horny, hairy hominid. He had those muscles, not the kind you buy at a gym, but the kind you get from swinging limb to limb. And Artie said, hubba hubba. And especially from the dawn of time. Now academics will call it a crime, but I don't mind. To nerdy intellects whose whiffs gave us myths of non-existence, who can't say, yay, without blushing and hushing, who are lamented to say, anal, unless it's retentive, who can't say, no, Mary, that floor arrangement belongs over there. Now, Brad saw Artie giving him the eye. Artie saw Brad looking shy. So back and forth, the back they walked, swung, sundered, and sung. And with much musing, these two dudes invented cruising. Now this cruising thing, later a film starring Al Pacino, was the bread and butter, how men knew who was who and what to do. Oh yeah, we had to have codes and clues, because our chunka was frowned upon by heteronormative dudes. Well, Brad knew what he wanted, but not how to get it, like most of us. So then he screamed, oh Maya, because he saw a papaya. He got an idea that would soon take root, which is why gay men are called fruits. He bent down to retreat, recede, if you believe, honey, this predates the bend and snap. Motherfucker just bent. Ooh, Artie saw that glorious Buddhist maximus and desired climaxicus. So he slapped that bubble butt from behind, and they had sex of the anal kind. And after Brad said, oh yes, baby, for you I yearn, he said, my turn. Oh, good job. Woo! Hot stars above, they fell in love. And Harding Brad moved to whatever the Pliocene equivalent of Vermont was. And they lived happily ever after with nookie, love, and laughter. Yeah, but those hot and horny homeless drag queens, nothing out of your relevant. You need fashion production. And fruits for loose. Well, fear not, my friends, fans, families, and foes. Soon after Brad and Artie started Pachunking, we got ourselves some culture, they suppose. They, whoever they are, were so very smart, say culture came 40,000 years ago with evidence of jewelry and art. Come on, the proof of culture is found in accessorizing? If that doesn't say drag queen, I'm not getting it. And then you know, some big man, asshole in charge, just time and again said, ooh, these bracelets are for ladies, these are for men. Some fucking queen. And molded by years of bodies of brass, who was so sick of looking drab, said, and that bitch had been fierce and fat. Woo. Are they tipping? Of course not. Did you use the it's not a city in China joke? Damn, I was going to use that. China. Drag queens galore. Perhaps because there in Japan, women weren't allowed on stage. And did you know in Japan they had male geisha houses? Geisha luscious knows these things. Yes, bitch, yes. I mean, you must know that in England, women weren't allowed on the stage either, of course. You know, and old Bill, he didn't just do it for the rules. He did it for comedy. Queens are funny. Some funny looking. Now, one wonders if these successful illusionists switched. Now, were they drag queens the way we understood drag queens? Probably not, because, you know, men weren't as we understand men. The owning of land isn't understood the same way we understand the owning of land, but honey, we all pay rent. Bitch, we are all through Commedia dell'arte and the Renaissance. Those plays are filled with drag mishaps, from dressing as a nun to get close to the virgins, to dressing as a man to escape town. And we still have drag theater troupes. Plush Life is a personal favorite. And there are also the campers and the troopers, the world famous coquettes, and those booger drag theater major troupes, you know. Oh, booger drag is bad drag, but sort of in a political, in-your-face way. I would like to publicly admit that I adore booger drag. No, I do. I like that it exists, as long as they keep their unfitting costumes and ill-placed glitter over there. You know, I don't know if they had glitter in the Renaissance. Looks like I have some research to do. I mean, certainly not the Middle Ages. The so-called, well, you know, Dark Ages. Okay. I might be getting ahead of myself, because I think in the Dark Ages we were pretty much just trying to cling to life as a species. But did you know, honey, that knights of the Middle Ages occasionally jousted in drag? Jousted! This bitch can barely move her mouth in time to pre-recorded lyrics. All through the ancient world, yes, and I'm not just talking mythology with Thor and Hercules cross-dressing, which they did, by the way. I mean real life. Do you know there's actual accounting, like actual account, government written down bureaucracy of men paying taxes from being paid to be fabulous. The tail swishers, called Birdie because of a swish of the button that walked. Yes, honey, yes, but called upon to make any party the party, and perhaps a little bit more. Those male femme fatales. Oh, I'd like to be a birdie who'd pay me to stop swishing. Oh, Diva, are you on already? Oh shit, I'm next! Fuck! Newbie, you have to really stop distracting me! La 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 la. Oh, I wish I had been a working girl when I was cute. I was so cute. I am fortunate not to suffer like many girls from UFS. UFS? Ugly face syndrome. I remember once when I was young, Someone offered me cash for sex and I was offended. Offended. Now I beg for someone to offer me sex, let alone 50 smackers. Yes, bitch, yes. If you are searching for the history of drag, check the brothels. I mean, where else would you go in a world that shunned you? The one place you were adored, the whorehouse. Onwards, Persephone and I were solicited by a man in a thong outside of Drag Strip 66. We laughed in the face of terror. Why, oh why, is it always a man in a thong and a business suit? Why? Always. Empress Stone, you're back already, speaking of ancient whores. I mean that in the most politically empowering way possible. Anyone left in the audience? Now, newbie, I want you to know that those ancient working girls weren't shot in teas like we're playing now. No. They were servants of God. True enough, Exoheli, South America, the god of male prostitutes and two-spirits. Two-spirits meaning possessing of both or all genders. Oh, America, you poor bitch. There's the real drag travesty. New. Never repeat this joke. Knock, knock. Yeah. Conquistador. Smallpox! I know it's terrible, I know. So on PC law, I know. You can't help it. There's a point of camp, the lie that tells the truth. Well, in this case, the truth was, well, genocide. Not so funny now. Yeah. But of course, the other side of that truth is that early missionaries and conquistadors found what they termed berdage, men living as women, in almost every tribe they came across in the Americas. Yes, I mean, much as we are found in the Mahu of Hawaii or the Hijra of Krishna. Every tribe. Now, we can make the drag trans fight again, or we can come down on the same side of the lens. Every single tribe. Can you imagine that? So wonderful. And then so horrible to see them slay. Yeah, and then compound the horrible, right? I mean, you kill all the two-spirits for King, Queen, and Baby Jesus, but you ain't done, are you? Because we come back. Future generations have to be taught these abominations, former shamans, when they mature. Can you imagine that betrayal? I mean, there you are, born into a world where God's decreed you to be a holy person, and the people you should be leading are taught to hate you. Ah. I had this drag sister once in Kanta. She could have been a shaman. Could have was a shaman. She was a shaman. Do you remember that horrible Aztec priestess number? Oh my God, I still have nightmares. We had some good times, didn't we, bitch? We were as thick as thieves. Not thieves, thieves. Look it up. And Kant was gorgeous, like passing without effort gorgeous. I never passed. I never wanted to. That is such a lie. And like her name suggests, and Kanta could sing. She could sing like a dream on the wing. She left us too soon. I mean, details matter not. She left unceremoniously. Strangled. He crushed that voice, that loud voice, remember? He wanted her, like they all did. And when it was all over, he hated himself for it. And so he hated her. And so he wanted to kill that part of him, but in all of our silly talk of drag and its checkered past, we seem to forget the real world implications. Why are there no famous drag queens of the 16th century? Because they were killed. Betrayed. Our history is one of betrayal. Encanto could have been anything, everything. I mean, strangled, she couldn't scream. She couldn't get the last word out, which I think really pissed her off. I'm doing it. I'm breaking my rule. No. You don't remember someone funny by being sad. If someone spends their life making people laugh, you don't do them the service of remembering them crying. I mean, she'd be here right now cracking the biggest joke. Really, honey? Cancer? At least something grew inside of you. Talent did it. Such a God. Sorry, fuck your ears. Baby. Hey, we're gonna finally get that duet. Newbie, why did you make me think about Encanto? Were you betrayed me? When your story comes to be told, who will I be? Some old queer and pink face. As we get decent and straighter, will freaks like me just get swept under the beige? Where will I end up in your sordid tales of transformations or tentative trips to equality? My cult of the weirdo. My worth marginalized in a world that doesn't see my value, like diamonds with no beauty or function. Well, here I sparkle in the dark. When you tell that story about some old dying queen who never shut up, it had better be funny. Because you're the shopping cow, really. If you can remember. You came from a people, darling. A betrayed race of glitter-talking illusion, of bone-crushing, throat-throttling reality. Well, fourth wall, Auntie's about to go on stage. She's gonna sing the noodle song. Men fall at my knees, they beg, they grovel, sometimes they say please. They adore her. She hangs out after the show and lets one of them buy her a drink. Okay, 6. She comes back here, packs up all of her fabulosity. She considers taking down photographs on the mirror. She lets this stay. It seems too permanent to take. Weeks go by. In them, chemo goes back. Reggae, meditation, etc. has done much to offset the devastation, but in the end, Pisces is very stubborn. On the upside, now emaciated, Auntie fits into some of her old gowns. Thrilled and inspired, she calls the promoter slash manager slash asshole and asks to get booked that weekend. Well, it being Wednesday, he says the night's already full. Auntie coughs, feigning illness. Well, not feigning, working illness. He acquiesces. He'll bill it as her triumphant return. Ta-da! Auntie never makes the show. Have you ever noticed how we react when a drag queen dies? Entire communities exist to weep. Hundreds holding hands, and each, with their private pain, seek to remember exactly what she said, or did, or was. I mean, maybe being performers, they just met more people. Or maybe it's because we lost 2 people. 2 spirits. I like to think somewhere on our cellular level, like in our DNA, we somehow know we lost a priestess, a healer, away to someplace so much more fabulous. If only we were that fearless. And yet here we are. In these past few Momo, Auntie has become a part of the complete history of drag, and you are now its envoy. If exposition is the death rattle of drama, preachy denouements are shovel pounded in here. Thank you for coming to the theater. She have liked that. Oh, there's her cue. Shit. Pay attention, bitch. Well, really, much like the Aku of Africa or the Australian rainbow serpent, which oddly predates Judy Garland. Oh, speaking of which, Stick to me after the show and I'll teach you how to work free drinks. That's a skill that you can take to the bank. Oh shit, deja vu. Oh my god, is that my cue? You could have fucking told me, bitch! Oh shit! La 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 la. Round sound, round sound, round sound, round sound. I am Sophia Loren. I am Sophia Loren. I am Sophia Loren. Should I wear a hat? What the fuck am I asking you? Hey, newbie. Welcome